What's up?
What up, everybody?
What's up, man?
What up, Dad? What up? What up, cuz?
What up, though?
Boy, this boy throwing the gang sign in the back.
What up, blood?
Wow.
Man, what is wrong
What
with
up,
y'all?
kinfolk?
Y'all about to get us killed.
Oh,
Hey, the views of
Delta on his and his alone.
Got
You were
them-
wearing sunglasses the whole time?
What's up, my people?
he got them glasses on.
I know, he too cool for us.
There's some sun in here, y'all just don't see it.
Yeah.
Barely.
I like the way you think, Mike.
It's some sun here, y'all don't see
Yeah,
it. Okay.
TJ, the resident fly guy, up in his piece.
Delta.
Yeah.
McFly.
Delta McFly, I like that.
Oh, that is really good.
Delta Mc, hey, hashtag Delta McFly.
Hopefully that don't stick.
Man, you call me that trash ass. We gonna have a problem. Hey, that's off the dome.
Oh my God.
Remix.
Hey, every video I put hashtag
The boy said Delta McFly.
We can go there if you want to go there.
I'm going to put it on the thumbnail.
And you know I don't pull back.
So
we can go there.
So if you want to know, if you want to win some fanware, you need to know what the hashtag Delta McFly is. Damn.
Oh, man.
Hey, Reese.
What's going on, people?
I ain't make that up. You didn't make that
Hey,
Wow.
Okay, are we talking sports real quick or no?
I know you want to.
I just want to talk about that one
I know
little
you
thing.
want to. So
I
everybody,
just want to gripe.
so
really
just
don't.
a
so
little.
I'm just gonna.
We haven't done it in a while.
I'm just
really
gonna
don't.
I'm gonna do a disclaimer here. I don't give a shit about the Chiefs. So, but Joe, you go ahead. Go ahead, Joe.
Hold on, Joe.
I-
Before you say something, Joe, I concur with Brian said.
Okay, I don't care either one you say. Okay, so the Chiefs released Justin Houston. The only fault the Chiefs really had last season was their defense sucked. And now the last vestige of their once fantastic defensive line is gone.
They said fantastic.
I don't
said
know what the hell.
fantastic.
They used season after season they had one of the highest ranked defensive line or defenses, I should just say, for years.
He said fantastic.
It's fantastic. It was fantastic. And now we've obviously refocused to offensive. I mean, we're doing fantastic, but they're just wiping out the defense, and that's the one thing they need to bolster. What the heck is going on,
What's going on, Mike?
Mike? What you thinking?
Don't ask me, bro.
You got it.
Mike
You don't
said.
get lost in
Mike is in his feelings over there.
He's
I'ma
in
say
old
that
Golden State mode
they
right
just
now.
pissing
I'ma
me
say
off
that-
right now.
with the trades.
The Chiefs' defense is overrated
They letting
anyway.
the defense go.
Oh,
Reese, hold on.
oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
Reese, how can a team defense be overrated if they rank last?
I mean,
As long as their name.
What was your defense rank last year?
I'm not for sure, but
Oh, you know what? Yeah.
top 10.
Top 10?
Are you high?
Last year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, last year. Top 10.
No, you were not.
They were
No.
ranked top 5. No. We had the
Rams defense?
best individual
Rams?
defensive player in the league.
They defense was ranked in the
Bro,
top 5.
no, they wasn't.
Yes, they were.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they
the
were.
Rams had the best-
Rams defense has been in
No.
the top 5 the last
No.
couple years, bro.
Dude,
way.
that was the
That's
one
not-
thing. That was the one thing they were talking about is that how many points that people were actually putting up on the Rams. The people they were just outscoring everybody.
That's why that Rams
Man,
Chiefs
you gonna have to
game
show me
was
some
like
stats.
one of the best
Right.
scoring games.
90 points, damn near.
Yeah.
Well, there's no defense.
That game was crazy. I love that game.
That's
though.
the
That was
only
one
game,
game.
bro. But what about the rest of the games?
The rest of the year,
defense, no one showed up.
the
That's
Rams,
what all the
game.
Chiefs had.
That's one game.
the Rams
The
just
Rams
outscored
and the
people.
Chiefs had the same
Rams?
problem. They had high
The
scoring.
Rams
offense,
defense
no
is way
defense.
better than the Chiefs.
So you
yeah,
saying-
that's
so you
hands
saying-
down.
It was better
So
than
you
last
saying,
year.
You saying Aaron
sure.
Donald
What?
is horrible?
The Rams
right?
defense
Is
was
that
better
what
than
you-
the
would have-
Chiefs last year.
They was better than this year too.
So
That's
you
what I'm saying. I'm saying last year than last season.
Last season they was better than
trash.
the Rams was better than last year.
You're talking about my team.
There's no comparison when you put
We
Chiefs
gutted our
defense
defense.
against Rams defense, bro.
Not
There's no
last
comparison.
season. No, yeah, the Rams
Last
defense
season
is
and
better.
this year.
I'm not saying they weren't better than the Chiefs. I'm just saying They're not a top 5.
No.
So wait. Let me.
He's gonna have to look that up.
Fact check.
I could have sworn I
checkers
seen
on
the
it.
Rams
So
top
wait.
5.
Fact checkers on it.
Brockers. So Brockers, Sue, Donald, Talib, Peter.
Them just names.
Names. They're not Pro Bowlers. Peter led the league on San Francisco Pro Bowlers. Hey,
Mike, hold on.
And
Hold on, Mike.
they're all talking Pro Bowlers, bro.
Mike, that cornerback he named Peter led the league in giving up touchdowns.
One game.
He led the league. What that mean? One game. He led the league, Reese. He led the league of average cornerback getting up touchdown per game. He led the league.
As Brian said, the backup wasn't ready.
Oh, dude, shut the fuck up.
Because when Talib got hurt, that's when Peters had to take up more of a prominent role, and it didn't work out for him.
All right. I'm done with this.
All I'm gonna say is
So what was the Chiefs' defense ranked?
Not
this year
good.
then?
Like 20?
Bad.
Both years.
Okay.
It was
bro,
very-
bro, you
both
need to
years.
go back and fact check that yourself because
Did you find it?
the Rams
I'm on
were,
it right now.
that was the thing that they were talking about is that the Rams were a high scoring offense, but they didn't have the defense to stop people.
Yeah.
They were just outscoring
They putting the
people.
numbers up.
They were just outscoring people. They wouldn't
I
like
don't know- I don't
they
know
wouldn't like
about that,
shut
though.
they wasn't shutting teams down. Who they blow out?
I don't know about that.
Who they shut out last year?
I can't recall
Nobody.
last year, but I remember they had
Nobody.
a defense.
Nobody. They didn't shut out anybody.
It doesn't matter. It's a score.
Nobody.
The offenses have a better shot anyway because the rules are set up to be an offensive
Now you
game.
switching the narrative.
No, that's real.
It is
Everybody
not
knows
switching the
that.
narrative,
It's an offensive game. It's an
You need to
offensive
look at it
league.
straight.
Why do you say
What
that?
were they ranked?
Please explain.
So first of all, the quarterback is protected. Correct?
Sure.
Oh,
That's
shit.
offensive. Oh no. That's
ahead.
offensive line.
Go ahead.
No.
If you're talking about Jared Goff
I want
being
you to
protected,
finish.
that's offensive line.
Remember at the beginning of the season when
I want you to
Clay-
finish
hold
on your points here.
I am. Well, remember at the beginning of the season, Green Bay Packers, when Clay Matthews Jr., whatever his name is, had in the first 4 weeks he had 3 or 4 pass interference calls, and all he did was he thumped.
He didn't have
the
pass
court.
interference
That's-
calls. He
I mean,
had
not.
rough-
I mean,
he
not
had rough in the
rough in the pass. I
bad
mean, yeah,
referring.
rough in the
but
pass.
you're not. But that's not.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Last year, the Rams defense in points ranked 20th. They gave up 24 points a game.
Alrighty then.
They ranked 19 against yard per game. In passing, they ranked 14.
Well,
In the run, they ranked astonished 23.
Okay.
What
top
was
five.
that? What was that last
I
year?
didn't say top 5.
I mean, what they was this year? I said
said
they was
top
top 5.
five.
I said they was top
You
5.
said top
did.
five. You said top five.
Yeah,
Hey,
I said
I know
I was
the
close.
Chiefs were
So,
one.
I was
So
close.
what were they
Look
this
him
year?
up.
Once again, you don't know jack about your team that you repping.
Okay, he said 14, which is close to 10.
No.
That boy said 14th, which is
This is
what-
why.
what
This
was
is
it- what was
exactly
it?
why I don't do fantasy with y'all. If it ain't a win or a loss, I ain't going into no detail about it.
bro. You,
No,
you,
fantasy's not like that.
It is. That's
Another
more
level.
than that.
Fantasy's another
That's
level.
what I'm saying.
Fantasy's great though. I love
Oh, I cut
fantasy
out.
football.
you still there? I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
I might have cut you out because of that bull you was
Oh,
talking.
Lord. Stop it.
What we
Anyway.
going on to next?
Yeah, we're gonna have to move out sports because there's some delusion going on this place.
Yeah, Reese.
But
Something ain't quite right.
I know.
The Chiefs defense ain't right.
No argument.
You know what else ain't right? R. Kelly.
No.
I'm sorry. We got to talk about this.
Oh my God.
So
Mr. Kelly.
So I tried to watch the interview. Everybody knows what he's accused of.
The
Which
one.
interview?
Gail.
But did you see the
I saw the
documentary?
snippets. I saw the snippet.
I haven't seen the documentary either. but-
I seen some of the documentary,
yeah.
and you know, I'm always kind of like, documentaries.
Is it edited?
Is it like being played up
One-sided.
now? Is it kind of one-sided because that wasn't his side of the story?
No.
So I'm like, okay, I know he's gonna have something to say, so let me hear his side of the story. So I just saw some snippets of the interview, and I've seen pretty much everything I need to see. Him going off was kind of his lawyer shouldn't let him do that. Second of all, when Gail asked him a direct question, do you sleep with underage girls? He said, I don't look at underage. I look at legal. Bro, that looks bad. That's bad. When you say the word legal, it's like you like sniffing around the yard trying to find out. I'm like, come on, bro.
And then he lied and said that he never messed with an underage girl. You married Aaliyah.
Yeah.
She was way underage.
Way underage.
She's
and
14.
you falsified the documents to get married.
Who that? To get married.
R. Kelly.
My question is why now? Because we all knew about all this stuff back in the 90s.
Because there's more. There was more. There's newer girls that came up into.
Well, it's not
I
just
get
that.
it.
Those
I
two
get
that
it,
were on
but
the news,
I
those
get-
are new.
I feel you.
And their parents are involved now.
Yeah,
To
but
where they're
he-
like he's.
It's
But
not
he-
just that. It's the Me Too movement.
Well, I mean,
That's a big
that
part
too.
of it.
Well,
And you got to understand
Yeah.
something too. A lot of these people that even watching some of the documentary, they excuse me, they were kind of starstruck. So nobody told them that this was not okay. And I blame the parents.
Oh yeah.
I blame the
100%.
parents because I don't care how good my daughter can sing. You're not going to R. Kelly's studio at 1 in the morning by yourself and then coming home the next
you ain't
day.
going to R. Kelly nothing.
Or I don't see you for 3 or 4 days. It's the same thing with Michael Jackson, man.
Wait.
People always saying he was this, he was that, but why you letting your kids go there?
Y'all let him go.
Why would you let them go there without you if they're
Don't bring
underage?
MJ.
That's
I mean, I understand if it's a celebrity and they
Don't bring
say
him
they
to
haven't
this,
broke the news of what that
Right.
celebrity's
Let that
accused
man
for.
rest, bro.
Maybe you have a little more starstruck and a little more trust.
Right.
But still, at the same time,
And
your
then-
kid's underage. You don't
and then
send
he
them
and
there.
then also R. Kelly made implications that they were being the parents were being paid. So I'm like, you just digging yourself. You doing some
Well, he did-
you doing some research
That
right
whole
there, baby.
interview.
Is he saying
He did a hole.
Did he say that he paid the parents?
Yes.
Parents
Yes.
were well paid.
God.
So from what the
he
girls were
said-
saying that they he stopped making payments to the parents because the girls were pretty much of age now. I don't have to pay you anything no more. So now, I mean, that's what I gathered from
Right.
it. Now I can just
Hold on.
give everything to
Did
the
you see
girl.
the interview with Gail when
Yeah.
when they said R. Kelly, they was talking to the two girls and they said that whenever they asked the question, R. Kelly will pop out.
in the background.
They got the background. He's back there listening.
Yeah, he in the background.
I'm
Wow.
like, wow, bro.
Yeah, that's
But even years ago when he did the interview on BET with Torre, I don't know if y'all remember
Yeah,
that.
we remember that.
And Torre asked him the question, "Do you sleep with underage girl?" And he said, "I mean, do you sleep with teenagers?" He said, "What's your definition of a teenager?"
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying.
we knew back then.
Seems like you're ready.
And the crazy part about it, if you listen to all of his songs,
Exactly.
and you think
listen.
about all the women that he's been with
Yep.
that have been underage, who is he really talking to?
If you listen to it,
That's weird. Everybody love. I mean, they love the
I
song.
listen to a song.
But
you ain't listen to none of his music.
man, come on,
You ain't never listen to R. Kelly song.
you a lie.
You a lie. Man, boo, I call that.
You had your phone made off R. Kelly. Come on.
Especially that TP2. Boy, he loved that TP2 album.
TP2.
Yeah.
What is
12
that?
Black.
12 play.
You know what toilet paper too.
I don't listen to R. Kelly, man.
You ain't never listen to R. Kelly
Hold on,
song.
You ain't
You
never
like underage girls, man.
I got one better for you. Listen to,
You know what I'm
listen to
saying?
Mike?
Who?
Michael Jackson.
No, MJ?
I listen to
man.
Michael Jackson.
No.
He's got some
No.
damn good music.
Where you see me
He's
listening?
got some music, but he's
got
got some.
This
He had
dude,
some problems.
this dude gonna say he talked to underage girls.
Well, yeah.
Bring it
listen
back to R.
MJ,
Kelly.
bruh.
So, what's this thing? And it may be fake news. I don't know. His lawyer, one of his old lawyers, who's like been diagnosed with cancer or whatever. He's set to die basically pretty soon. And he started saying that they were pressuring R. Kelly to change his lyrics because they were so inappropriate towards underage.
I
Again,
don't know.
it's maybe fake news. Who
I can
knows?
see
If
it.
it's right.
I can see
Yeah,
that
I
happening.
I don't know, but you
But
know, like
apparently he's doing a tell-all or something.
I think
can see it.
social media has took a toll on it too. Cause back, like you say, back then, I think they should have got. If they were gonna go after them, they should have went after them back then. But I think a lot of things, technology has changed, social media and all that throws it out there even more in front of everybody's face. You know.
So they're the trial and they're the jury and the trial and everything, right on social media.
I think to answer your question, though,
Guilty.
Reese, why now is because, like I said, when you got somebody who's getting paid, you got their potential of their daughter being some type of superstar or something like that, and some of them actually did backup dancing for him. Some of them actually did backup singing for him. So he was kind of coming through with some of the stuff he was saying. So they had no reason to really believe that anything was inappropriate, and not all them girls were coming forward and telling their parents that, hey, me and R. Kelly, after we sing the song, we go in the back and do 12 play. They're not telling them that.
Right.
For a multitude of reasons. They might just be like, R. Kelly loves me, so I'm not going to tell my parents about this, or, I'm embarrassed about it, so I'm not going to tell my parents about it. So, that whole psyche of somebody playing with your mind, and being a superstar, the superstar that he is. Somebody said something. This was a good analogy. So he had this P tape out there. During that time, the week after that, he was singing the national anthem at the Olympics. This dude is a megastar.
Yeah.
He was. That's what I'm saying. Anybody else now that has something like that, they were like, no, you can't come do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you understand? Do you understand the reason he didn't go to jail for that tape? Does anybody know?
Yeah, because somebody testified. The girl
The girl
said it wasn't him.
It didn't happen. It wasn't him in the tape.
And she
And
said
the
it was his
parents-
brother.
And the parents did the same.
Say it
They
was her
testified
brother?
and said
It was
that's
his
not
brother.
my
I
daughter.
seen the tape.
Yeah.
I seen the tape back
And
then
I mean,
when I was
so
younger.
the thing about it is when you got that kind of power, just like some of the politicians that are out there, you ask about the other guys, like, well, no, everybody said he's a known pedophile, and he paid them off. It's the same thing.
How does R. Kelly have power?
Because he's a star.
Yeah,
Star,
but
man.
What?
I mean,
It's different, Joe.
it was back in the 90s, really.
He's still
He's
relevant today because
he's an icon among black people.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, bro.
He's an icon.
He's
not
a-
just among black people.
I mean,
But
among
you look-
every-
I don't know anybody else who listens
you
to
look
him.
at
Everybody
wait. Okay, you might not listen to him directly, but you listen to his music because a lot of these songs that are playing on the radio, he wrote. He wrote for Britney. He wrote for you name it. He wrote a song
Back
for
then, they
them.
wrote all
But
these.
all
said
that
you
true,
wrote for
Reese.
you name it. Is that
Hey,
true?
hey, all that you name it.
Come to the stage.
I
You
got
name
you,
it.
man. I got you.
Y'all sis. But all you
Yeah, you name it. Coming to the stage. Got your new name.
You name it.
But anyway, Reese, that's true what you're saying. But only people that support R. Kelly like this to the max is mostly black people, bro.
I wouldn't. No, you can't say that with facts because
What?
no, because
Wake up,
no,
bruh.
no.
Hold on.
That's like saying.
Let me ask you something right
That's
now.
like saying
Let me ask you
black people
something.
only
Let me ask you
support
something.
hip-hop.
Hold on. Let me ask you
Hip-hop is
something.
No.
Let me ask you something. We're sitting in this room right now. All five of us know about R. Kelly, and Joel doesn't.
I know about R. Kelly, but
But-
I don't listen to his music.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Ah, there it goes.
But I'm saying culturally,
Yeah.
black people support R. Kelly way more.
I still would have to disagree.
R. Kelly's not an icon.
How do you disagree with that?
R. Kelly's not an icon, bro.
I said he was.
He's an icon.
I said he was an icon. But I'm
he-
saying he's just not an icon. He's an
Not
icon
just.
around the world.
Yes,
He
I agree. But what Tracy's point is that he is highly supported by probably 90% of the black population.
I
You just
disagree.
said
I mean,
I
like
he was-
financially,
He was singing at the
basically.
Olympics.
Yeah.
disagree.
So what do you mean he's saying not around the world?
No, I'm not saying not around the world.
His touring-
He's disagreeing with Tracy
I
saying
agree saying he's an icon.
that he's not
bro.
an icon among black people. He
I'm
was.
saying he's an
He
icon amongst everybody.
was.
I disagree with you. I don't think he's an icon amongst everybody. I think he's just among black.
No, I think it goes a little further than that.
He's renowned, nationally known
He's
artist.
been nationally known.
No,
He's everywhere.
He's more known now for
No,
not
even
back in the
then.
90s.
Yeah.
Back then.
Not back in the 90s.
When he
Yes, he was.
okay.
In the
He
90s.
was.
say more known now.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I
So
said
when-
that
when
was
he
now.
was
You
a
go on
pedophile,
YouTube him, and he's
hear it.
everywhere. Every country.
Now
every,
he is.
No, even
No,
back then.
back then.
They got all
Not
video
in the
clips of
90s.
him.
The
Man,
way
go
listen,
on YouTube.
the way he
Hey, R.
blew
Kelly
up,
was everywhere.
the
man.
way he
I
blew
believe
up.
I can fly.
He was sitting right next to me. What are you talking about?
That's on everything, man. Space Jam. That's on
We're not gonna fly as
everything,
long
man.
as
So-
and that's
They say
why
Space Jam.
he's
So,
more so
when
worldwide
he-
iconic.
when
than
he
just with-
when he left the announcement when he left that group and went solo, he did start doing world tours. You
Yeah,
are
he did.
correct.
Well, hold on.
He did start
But
doing world
even
tours.
before that, the way he got this. Listen, hear me out. He got discovered in Chicago, right?
He wasn't
But-
big until he went solo. Bro.
Listen.
Hey, wasn't he with Guy or somebody?
Yeah, the announcement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
announcement,
that was-
public
he just
announcement.
I used to listen to Guy, bro.
No, he
announcement.
wasn't with God. He was with public
Public
announcement.
That's what I just said.
Oh, yeah,
No, but listen.
When he went solo is when he blew up.
Kinda.
Kinda.
Actually, I don't even
I'm
know
done.
who's in the
Listen.
group. What group?
Next question.
I'm talking, but ain't nobody listening. I'm giving you the background.
Okay.
Okay. When I watched the interview with two of the former members. It was three of them of public announcements. One of them quit. So the other two, this is their story. This is what they said. They were discovered in Chicago. Before they played in the States, they played in Britain. He blew up in Britain. That's how they knew they had a thing. When they got back to the States, they dropped. They did the 12-play album. They dropped public announcements, and then they knew he could be a solo star on his own. That's when he blew up.
I'm gonna tell you something right now. You need to watch what's that on BET.
Yeah.
The documentary?
Not Uncut.
Unsung.
Unsung. Because his first hit that made him a superstar was Honey Love.
Yeah.
With public announcement. That's when they knew he was the stuff.
But they played it there first.
No, they
Is what I'm-
didn't.
Okay.
Bruh.
Right, you believe
telling-
what you want to believe.
Research.
I'm
Here, we
believing
gonna
from
get
the.
back- we
I'm
gonna
a
get back
go
to
with.
that.
I'm
gonna
gonna
come
go
back
with
to
the
that.
horse's mouth.
I'ma research that.
This is what the horse's mouth said. They were
What
they
horse?
were there.
R. Kelly said that?
No, the other two guys. There was actually three guys.
So-
there was four
So
guys in
you
public
saying
announcement.
Four
So
total.
you saying public announcement went over to Britain and they did a tour, and that's when they realized R. Kelly was good.
No, they knew he was good. They didn't know if he would. They
But
didn't
had
think
to know
they
that he
didn't-
was good before they went
They
overseas.
didn't
to
think
even know they had
from,
the talent.
from their words. They didn't think R. Kelly, because back then it was about groups. It's from
Right,
their
right,
words.
okay.
Back then it was about groups. So they didn't think that he would survive as a solo artist just coming out. So
Boy, were they wrong.
they created 12 play for him. And when 12 play came along, and Honey Love may have been one of their songs that blew up, or it was, but they played them overseas first. So and he blew up overseas, and then they brought him back to the States.
Was he peeing on people
But how we
overseas?
know he blew up overseas?
That doesn't make any sense to me. but
we
he just
says
said
in the
so.
interview.
Yeah, he just said in the interview we blew up over. But how we know that? They just, they just probably had a hit concert.
They were there.
Just because you have a hit concert don't make you blowing up overseas.
Yeah, once again, Joel didn't even know he was in a group before he went solo.
I mean, but a lot of people don't know
He
that.
was still peeing on people
Just move out the way.
overseas.
He's still peeing on people.
Dude, you drinking
my
my
God.
water?
The fact is, R. Kelly is in the news right now, and it ain't looking too good.
Nah,
he
it
got
ain't
he
looking
got
too
out
good.
the
Yeah.
place they said where he's picking up girls at. This man got back out of jail
And
of
McDonald's-
$160,000 and went right back to McDonald's to get another girl.
To get a happy
So,
meal.
so I
Get
know
a happy meal.
Right.
we gonna have to move on. Because oh my God, I know y'all don't like talking politics. I know y'all don't. I know
I
y'all
don't mind it. Let's do
I don't know
it.
if we have enough time
Let's
to
go.
talk
I'll
politics.
take you there.
But this was a good thing, and actually, me and Maurice were talking about it. What's the guy's name? What's the guy's running for president? The
Which one?
The
Bernie
Korean, the
Sanders?
Korean guy,
Yang.
Yang.
Andrew.
Dang, I hadn't even heard of him.
So Yang Andrew.
What is he running?
Andrew Yang.
he's
He's
running
for
probably
president.
Democrat.
Well,
No, I think he's gonna run an independent.
Independent?
No, he's running.
I wish the independents
yeah,
would get more
independent,
money
So-
for their
Independent.
campaigns, but they're
So
away.
this
That's
was
a different conversation.
this
Yeah.
what his
Totally
platform
different
is. His,
conversation.
two of the things that Reese
Did you
told me.
watch it?
No, I ain't watched that crap. So this dude said he wants to correct me if I'm wrong, give everybody $1,000 a month.
Over 18.
Over 18. Everybody over 18, $1,000 a month.
I heard
No
you.
matter whether you're rich, poor, whatever. He wants to give everybody $1,000 a month. And what else was it?
Universal health care.
Universal health care and
And
there was one other thing.
I can't remember.
Well, anyway, I want to focus on the $1,000 a month thing.
I
They're
get
doing,
12. I
they're
get
doing
12.
this in another country right now.
They're doing it
they
in
do it in
Alaska.
Alaska.
They're doing it in
I get
Alaska.
12 grand off top.
Hey, fact check right quick. Alaska is not another country.
No, he just no. He just said no. Because they were doing it. Oh my god.
Wow, bro.
She was good with that. I know. Calling somebody out.
He said, fact check, Alaska is not a country. Oh my God. Stop it. So anyway,
I asked them, was they doing it in another country?
My bad. My bad.
so that's Alaska. And the reason they do that in Alaska is because the state gets money from the oil companies for running the pipeline through
Right,
there.
right.
So they disperse it out to the citizens for that's what they get it for.
Kind of like we do the lottery.
So hold on.
No,
my question to each one of you is,
$1,000 a month is 12 grand.
it's 12 grand a year.
for a year.
My question to you is, I don't think it's a good idea to give people money, because just handing somebody something for doing nothing, I said that is automatically going to make them not want to do anything. And the argument was, that $1,000 isn't life changing. And my argument is, because I know some of us in this room have experience with people collecting disability and stuff like that. People will live off that.
Yes.
And be okay.
I don't see it. I don't.
Bruh.
Go
I see.
to
I
some
can
places
see
in
that.
Jeff City in Section 8. They're good with
we
that.
don't have to take this around room. Ty, what you think?
I heard this going on, man, but I just don't. I think they would have to have some type of stipulations on the people getting $1,000.
They
I don't
already
think they just
do.
can't give everybody $1,000, because I feel like if I'm going to work every day, and this person over here ain't going to work every day, but they getting $1,000 and I'm getting $1,000, I'm like, dang, what's
Well,
the
it would be,
motivation?
okay.
Why
It would
go
be
to
like
work?
you would be getting $1,000.
They
He'd be
getting
getting $1,000, but you'd be going to work and making more money. Is what my understanding. He said everybody
gets
No,
$1,000.
everybody gets $1,000.
But my thing is,
I feel what you're saying. Yeah, I just don't think that, from my perspective, I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think it'll work.
I don't
That's just
see.
me.
I understand. So
Give me
a lot
$1,000.
of
You give me
Democrats.
$1,000, and I was where I was 21 years ago. Is that old? And is that old?
Yeah, you
Am I
old.
Okay,
Is that
21 years ago. You give me $1,000. I'm flipping.
And that's a good
I'm
thing.
flipping. No, that's
no, that's not a good thing.
What
Do you know what
Not a
flipping
good
is?
thing.
Yeah, you don't flipping. Okay, we
Do you know what flipping is?
I understand what you're saying.
So,
but
I'm not
I can-
saying
I can.
flipping-
Me and you can flip
flipping could be
$1,000
a good
in a
thing or a
different
bad
way.
thing,
Yes.
bro.
I'm talking about bad thing. I said
okay.
where I was
He said-
21
he
years
said,
ago.
Listen to what he's saying.
Cause I done been, cause I done sold stuff on eBay, bro.
No, he ain't talking about eBay.
And I put some stuff on eBay, bro.
We don't talk about eBay.
I'm not talking about.
I know what you. I got what you're
I
saying.
can flip $1,000 in the stock market.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
21 years ago, you thinking about stock market?
Okay, wait. And I wish I
At
was-
18 years old, you thinking about the
wait,
stock market?
No, I did not. But in 07, 06, when Netflix popped off, if I would have had $1,000, I would have put that $1,000 in
You
Netflix.
could've took $100
knowing-
put in it.
Yeah, you could have, and I would be a millionaire right now.
Yeah,
But you
bro,
didn't. You're not in that mindset. You weren't in that mindset.
here's the
then.
problem.
Right now, if I
That's
go back to 07,
one person
I'm
out
putting-
of millions and billions of people that are probably here
No,
in the
people
U.S.
are billionaires off of Netflix.
No, bro, I'm just saying.
Hold on.
Back
Hey,
then,
hold on. Joe had a point.
we're not
Hold
doing
on.
that.
Hold on. Joe had a point.
The government is not there to support us in our investments. The government is there to protect us and to provide, and some people argue this, but I'd say welfare programs for people who cannot provide for their family. But
Elderly.
elderly,
elderly,
children who have no parents, stuff like that. I struggle with the idea of creating programs where the government, I don't see a way the government can actually pay, fund it.
So it's okay for the government to bail out these big corporations.
No.
Man,
no,
get
no,
what
no,
he's
no, no.
saying. Give my 12
It's not
grand.
okay. But it's not okay.
That's a
went
different
there,
conversation.
And you went there when we had our conversation. What I told you was, I said, a government putting money into something that's going to save jobs is different than handing somebody money. And that money was paid back.
Because the deal,
That money was paid back.
the deal,
Don't slip on that. The money was paid back.
the deal is, hold on. The deal is, if the government doing what the president's, well, the guy who's running for president coming up, if you're gonna do that, what's preventing just me and Joe hard working and y'all four get together and stay in the house? Y'all got $4,000 coming in. And,
Nice big house.
And none of y'all working no more. So y'all just got $4,000 coming in, and we here busting our ass off.
That's what I'm saying.
And y'all just getting paid.
But
That is no.
And?
I have a problem with that.
So I mean, they doing it now. You get food stamps and stuff.
The
And
money-
they ain't working and getting stuff like that. So what's the point of getting $1,000 in your hand a month?
And that's-
you getting it anyway.
Well, Mike, that's
That's
not
the
true
thing.
all the way.
That's the-
You still got to work to get food stamps.
You're supporting my point. Is that if people are doing it now with less,
Yes,
and now
I'm
you're
not
gonna
gonna
get
do-
$1,000 cash on top of that. You think
Exactly.
anybody's gonna be motivated to go work?
Maseratis and Lamborghinis for everybody.
Listen,
That would hurt the economy.
the,
Go ahead,
the-
Reese.
the
Hey.
money,
Will not work.
the
That would
money-
not work.
Go ahead, Reese.
The money is going back to the economy anyway. It's not like you're going
It's
to just
not
go.
the government's.
It's
Yeah,
It's
but you're
not
going
right.
back, but
I'm not
what are
saying-
you
Try to
reaping
control
from
the economy
You're
and
reaping a whole
destroy
bunch of
it.
extra stuff.
how do you feel the money's
the
going back to the
$1,000?
economy? How do
Because
you?
it's not like you're
Because you're buying a Lamborghini and
No,
Gucci
no,
shoes and
no,
Gucci belts
no,
and all
no,
that.
no.
Yeah, that's going back to the economy.
That would kill capitalism.
That's going back to the economy.
how do you-
Everybody's not
Yeah,
going
it would.
to
It's
put their
straight up-
money
that's straight
into
up
something.
socialism.
Well, I'm saying.
I really want to hear this. I really want to hear this. How
Because
you?
you are spending the money back in. You're putting the money back into your community anyway. Or if you buy
No,
something
they ain't
off
putting in the
eBay,
community.
where okay,
The
you go
economy
to the, you go
isn't
to the
a
grocery-
hamster
you-
wheel.
You go to
Yeah.
the grocery store. Yeah,
A lot of
it
people
is.
buy
You go-
online now.
But you gotta understand something. Like I said, like we talked about this before. The economy doesn't bounce back like that.
You'll see it 10
won't-
years, 15
You won't
years
see
down
it.
the road.
You won't see it that quick.
I'm not saying his idea.
say
is
5 year
right or
period.
wrong.
And-
I'm saying
Pretty
is-
reasonable.
And
Within a year.
Feeling the effects of an economy.
be real with yourself. Do you really think that somebody's gonna get $1,000 that they didn't have to work for and spend it wisely? Do you really believe that?
Think about the people you know.
I'm not talking about us in this room.
It
Think about the
depends.
people you know.
The average 18-year-old
Your employees.
that you see in the streets and you see walking around all the time, and all of them got the latest fashions on, and they're walking
But yeah,
and still living with their parents.
your employees.
No drive whatsoever, and now you're gonna give them $1,000.
That was my whole
And you
thing.
think they're gonna do something smart with that money? You're
It
wrong.
depends.
As an American, that would kill us, bro.
Some people will.
It would
and
kill
some
us.
people
And a
won't.
lot of more people will not.
But that's the thing. Everybody has to do it, or it doesn't work.
But okay, you mentioned the elderly, right? So you look at the
Crime
elderly.
rate go up.
What's the? Hold on. Let him
So
speak.
you okay? So you got the elderly, right? You have people out here right now today that have to make a choice. Am I gonna eat or I'm gonna buy this medicine? That $1,000 it's not just for the young.
That's-
it's for the old. That's what.
I feel like, well, I'm just saying, I'm not going to
No, no.
say that people don't have to make the sacrifices for those things, but I don't think the $1,000 is the solution, because I think that's more of you need to address medical costs
But
and go to the pharmaceutical company and say you lower the
Who
cost.
runs the country? Who runs the country?
we're
Big
getting
business.
going towards something.
Big
yeah.
business runs the country.
Yeah, we're a
If-
capitalist country.
Yeah, we're capitalist country.
No, what I'm saying is the pharmaceutical and all his brothers and sisters, little brothers and little sisters, they tell this government what to do.
You're more upset about lobbyists than you are.
I mean, it's the same thing. They tell. Okay, it's like whispering something in your ear, and then you tell, and then you go back and say, okay, well, Joe, I'm gonna give you $1 million if you lean my way. If you're a politician, right?
And I'd ask left or right.
Left or right. and then I give Tracy $1 million. Tracy lean my way. And I give Mike $1 million. Mike lean my way. So my boat is rocking in the direction I want it to rock in, right?
Sometimes
Well,
it don't even gotta be about money, Reese. It can be about a bill. You gonna assist me? You gonna help me on my bill? That
I
I
have a
asked?
question for the next episode.
Yep, we're gonna have to wrap this up. I'm glad to get y'all thinking outside. This politics stuff is good stuff. I'm telling you, but
I agree with 12,000. Just to let you know.
Mike's like, you can't buy me with 1,000. It's 12,000 a month.
12,000 a year.
It sounds,
he's going
it
for the
sounds
year.
nice that they put some type of stipulation on there where we can all get it and we can all.
That is a horrible idea.
It's
Horrible idea.
This is what's gonna happen though. They're gonna make inflation go up.
They're getting it now. So what's the point?
Everybody needs to watch the interview to fully understand what he's saying.
Yeah, I have to watch it. I don't need to watch it.
I don't gotta watch it. Well, if you want to give everybody $1,000, that's a horrible idea. They
It's
getting
a
it
terrible
now.
idea.
No, they not.
Yes, they are.
It will.
All right. Yes,
It's
they
gonna
are.
inflate the curve.
We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna keep arguing.
Stamps.
We're gonna keep arguing for a little bit.
Because
Joe,
people
where
got
can they
food
find us?
stamps, and then they got 6 kids. They still not.
Okay. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter for updates. Facebook, so it's Facebook and YouTube. You can watch episodes, but make sure you log on, subscribe, like, and hit the bell on YouTube. That's where we're gonna be doing a lot more of our pushes. So
We're gonna have some giveaways too. I got these guys so hyped. I can't wait to the next episode.
it's coming
Going down.
All right, peace out. See you on the
Peace
next one.
out.
See you guys.